All right, so which brings us to, well, it doesn't bring us to. I'm going to take us here. Three Billboards. Let's talk about that. All three of us have seen it, right?
Well, you go.
Yes.
You guys go first on this.
All right. Jerry, you like it?
Yes, I liked it. Yes, I like the movie. I enjoyed it. I don't know if enjoyed is the right word, but I liked it. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since I've seen it, but yes, I liked it. Let's get the conversation going. So,
all right. Well, I mean, I was moved by it. I liked it, and I thought it's a really strong performance movie.
Oh yeah,
and I thought it was because those three lead performances are flawless. I mean, they're just great.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it's a movie. It's obviously about grief, but I think more than anything, it's a movie about being consumed by something, whether it's something that is done to you, something you do to yourself, or something imposed on your body that's consuming and eating it away.
Right.
And moving on from that. And only one character really moves on from that. But by the movie's end, the other two lead characters, you know that they're on the path to move on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
So just thematically, I appreciated it. So, Dean, what do you have to add?
For me, I was dazzled by it while watching it. Afterwards, I had some questions, but while watching it, I was thrilled by it. Particularly thrilled. I loved the widescreen look of it. I loved, of course, the cast. I mean, is great down the line. Everybody is, no matter how small the role is great. I love, for instance, the woman playing Sam Rockwell's mother, who a lot of people might recognize playing the aunt in Napoleon Dynamite, of all things. But she's great, and it has a grasp of location and I did find it incredibly moving. Frances McDormand is such a powerhouse when she's allowed to, and generally she's cast in roles where she's allowed to do this. But when with anger, there is no better actress out there than Frances McDormand for some reason.
And yet, I'm telling you, man, this is one of my favorite moments in movies that I've seen all year. It's the moments when she shows tenderness that that hit me hardest. That moment when Woody Harrelson spits blood on her, and she says, "I know, baby." Just that one word that she says, "baby." Oh my God, that killed me. Moments of the year for me.
I completely agree. Completely agree. It was so surprising, and my problems with the movie are come with the mayhem that comes with it, either by McDormand's hand or by Sam Rockwell's hand. Right. I feel like those events, which are violent in nature, aren't really plumbed very much by the authorities. They're just sort of passed off like, that happened, bye, or whatever. There's no deep repercussions that come from these things, even though they take place right. Most of them take place in or around the police precinct that's in Ebbing, Missouri. So I don't know. I couldn't buy that the police would not look more deeply into. McDormand has a scene early on where she's at the dentist, and something happens there. The dentist is about to go all Marathon Man on her, And she does something, and it's just sort of passed off as like, oh well, I just couldn't buy that, and I couldn't also buy. Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but there was just certain things that I just couldn't really, couldn't really buy into. I just can't say it any other way. But while I was watching it, I wasn't thinking about that. I was merely thinking about, well, what's going to happen next? Because it really is one of those movies where you're like, I don't know where this is going to go. I'm not quite sure. But I loved it. With only the most nitpicky of kind of reservations. It was.
Well, I think it's smart. There's something about Frances McDormand, and it's in the events of the screenplay as well. Like when those moments of tenderness do arise, you could tell that she's almost tired of carrying that heavy facade of anger and grief. Like she can't let go of it. And I think part of the reason why she buys those 3 billboards is so she can keep that going. But she knows that it's destroying her. But she can't let it go. So a triumph for her is maybe getting to a stage where she might be able to begin letting it go. And that's something that is suggested in the movie, that might happen for her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sam Rockwell is so wonderful in the movie, but I think the reason why people are raving most about him is because he has the most obvious arc, because he's the one that goes from 0 to 160.
Mm-hmm.
In the way that character is written. So I mean, I can understand he does it beautifully. But I think the other 2 characters are equally as well observed and well written.
I mean, Woody Harrelson is fantastic in it too. I mean, I think he's sort of getting lost in the conversation here with Rockwell. Being considered the most notable supporting player in it, but I love Harrison's performance in it. He's tough, but he's compassionate, and I really feel that the compassion comes through in his performance and in the way it's written, and I really appreciated that. I was a little bit dreading. I was afraid that they might go another way with it, but they gave him real dimension, and he plays it quite well, and so that was
very much.
Yeah,
and I like the little touches in the movie, which are directorial. Just in one scene alone, where she first goes over to pay for the billboards, and the guy at the advertising place. Tell me another movie he's been in. I mean, he's great in it too.
Caleb Landry Jones. That's he was in American Made earlier on in the year, and so he's in a lot of stuff these days.
Yeah, he's very good. And at first you think, oh, he's playing another one of those weirdos. But even his character has great dimension by the end of it, as you said, Dean.
Yeah.
But that one scene where she first walks into his office. And he's reading "A Good Man Is Hard to Find," which I mean that too is some kind of clue about what themes they're dealing with, because the same kind of themes are in that story. And then she goes to the window, and there's a bug that's turned over on its back, and she turns the bug around up, so that it's not struggling anymore. Which is almost, that's an example of a metaphor that is not obvious.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I agree.
So, and the film has those moments, and you just gotta really watch it. I mean, it's a movie where it's a great dramatist that put this movie together, Martin McDonagh.
Yeah, no, and a great, It's very well done. Looking at it, I just thought it was, like, and I put on Twitter, I just thought it was a very accurate representation of, like, America right now in some respects. I just thought it was really deadly accurate. And I just thought the performances were very strong, and especially Frances McDormand. I know, I personally think she's a front runner for Best Actress right now. That's my opinion, but I know there's some others out there too. But that, for me, that's like the strongest performance right there. And I thought Woody Harrelson was superb. I thought he was very good, and I thought Sam Rockwell was very good. So it's an actor's movie. There's just great performances throughout. Peter Dinklage too.
I loved him. He was so good in it.
Good. Yes, and also the one who played John Hawkes, who plays her ex.
Yes,
is very good. And there are a lot of, like, and, you know, who was it? Abby Cornish is in the movie also as
playing Harrelson's wife, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Yeah, and it's just a lot of great little performances, but also a lot of like the scene in the restaurant where she goes on a date with Peter Dinklage is just, you know, something bad is gonna happen. You just know that's not going well, and of course it doesn't. And there's just a lot of, and, you know, especially for a guy who's, Martin McDonagh has made some great, you know, In Bruges, obviously, Seven Psychopaths to a lesser extent, but like he and his brother are just these great playwrights who also happen to make great movies. It's incredible. There's some really fantastic storytelling there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I just love, you know, again, going back to the way it's directed, you know, just the choice of having those billboards be red. I love that, you know, you know, they had to make them pop out against all that green of Missouri and everything. So what's better than making them red with black letters? I mean, it's just,
it's as angry as possible. I mean,
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, it is. It's a terrific movie, though. I love it.